We recognize that Champlain Valley Unitarian Universalist Society gathers on the land seized from the Western Abenaki people by European colonizers. We respect the Abenaki spiritual relationship to the land and waters of the Champlain Valley. As we gather, we pay homage to them, their ancestors, and future generations by committing ourselves to building a more inclusive, just, and respectful space for all. Welcome to Champlain Valley Unitarian Universalist Society. It is so good to see you, both in person and online. If this is your first time joining us, we welcome you to bring your whole self with all your truths and doubts, your worries and hopes. We also encourage you to sign our guest book in the foyer to get to know you better and offer opportunities of engagement through our weekly news updates. Thank you, Laura. Celebrate Laura today. All right. Champlain Valley Unitarian Universalist Society offers inclusive community, spiritual richness, religious education, thereby encouraging lives of meaning, integrity, and service. So we are a welcoming congregation, open to all who find our emphasis on personal religious integrity and commitment meaningful. I just want to give a quick shout out to Reverend Hart assisting me today. Thank you so much for being here. Yay! Today we have a unique service. Today we have a special guest. She was with us via Zoom in August 2021, and she returns again. Thank you to all those who believed, who made this happen. We are here to hear her story, learn what anchors her, and to empower her as we have that opportunity to do so. I want to give a thank you to Vermont Humanities, who supported in part by granting the funds to cover our guest's honorarium. Okay, so who am I? I am Esther Charlestin, a member of this congregation, and today I am honored to serve as the worship associate for my dear friend, Sophia Domeville. Celebrate Sophia today. Thank you for being here. So who is Sophia? Miss Sophia Domeville is a Newark-born Haitian-American abstract expressionist, adjunct project professor, educator, and arts education advocate. She focuses on shedding light on the importance of art education and its development to increase sustainable pipeline of resources for her students. Her work has been featured across the country and overseas, including JFK Airport, Delta Airlines, Huffington Post, and countless magazines and more. She was also featured in a Spike Lee show. Yes, her art was featured there too. Sophia brings several years' experience in program administration, art education, and professional development for students and educators. She holds a dual master's degree in educational leadership focused on education policy and arts education from NYU, where she was a fellow in the NYU Social Sector Leadership Diversity Fellowship. In Newark, New Jersey, Sophia designed an immersive arts program centered on the impact of youth voice and the social justice movement. All that to say, we have a powerhouse in our midst. Yes. So this morning we have the opportunity to witness a conversation between her and I, and we will explore her journey, her process, practice of gratitude, and we're gonna show some of her work during coffee hour. So thank you. Thank you, Sophia, for being here. There are many pathways to connection, so please take some time and read your bulletin to learn how to be connected to our congregation. Our call to worship today is by Jim Scott, a reminder of our beloved community. For all of life and gifts we hold sacred, we raise our voices. For all our relations, we will meet with compassion and grace. We raise our voices. For justice and peace, and for the health of the circle of life, we raise our voices. For the celebration of all who themselves cannot or may not, we raise our voices. For this moment in time that we are granted to share the wealth of each other's presence, we raise our voices. For the power of our collective voice and concerted action with vision and love, we raise our voices. And now it is time for our chalice lighting, the symbol of Unitarian Universalism. And let us read together. On this crusade of remembrance, we remember those who have been murdered for being who they are, those who face violence on a daily basis, those who have lost loved ones, and those who worry for loved ones. May we come to a time when we cease to shame children around gender roles and expression, where we allow for freedom and exploration of identity and expression, and to a world that operates from love, especially when things are difficult and confusing. May all of us who live with the threat of violence find support, strength, community, hope, and safety from our lives.
It is nice to be here on this day when I just came to meet Sophia. But Esther and I talked about how I might be helpful in this service, and I'm happy to do that. And I'm very glad to meet you, Sophia, and I'm glad to see all of you. And I'll be back next week so you can come and see me again. This congregation, like all of the congregations in Unitarian Universalism and most of the congregations that I know of any kind, the tradition, the pattern is to take a pause in the midst of worship together to remember that the congregation exists because of the faith and support of its members and friends. We probably don't have to do it that way because there's so many ways of giving money these days. You can mail it in, you can give online, you can follow the QR code, which I'm going to encourage you to do today, even if you've never done that before, but that will come later. It is good for us in the midst of our worship to actually remember that we, the people who are here, are the people who make this congregation possible. And we do that by our presence and our energy and our love and our care for each other, and also by sharing the treasure, the money that we have. That's a gift. That's a gift we give one another. May not always feel that way, but I think it is a gift we give one another to be generous, kind of out loud in front of each other. It is a good thing for us to practice. So we take up a collection, and we will do that in just a minute. I also want to say, because I wasn't able to come to the Radical Love dinner, but how many of you were there at that? Oh my goodness gracious. And I've seen the pictures, and it was lots of fun. And in your order service, there's a wonderful summary of some of the things that were donated at that wonderful event. So we hope that you'll read it. And we hope that you will remember one more thing, which is that this is a fundraiser for this congregation, and it is not too late. I have called up the QR code. I'm going to sign up. Mary, I didn't do it before. Mary Hadley, where are you? I'm going to do it today. I'm going to do it during the service, so that can happen too. And then it will be easy for me to donate money. And you can do that as well. It's a way of supporting this congregation by supporting the Radical Love event. So I hope that you will do that. And I hope that you will give generously, because the shared offering this month, the donee is Gedakina, which is an organization that reaches out and helps especially women and children and youth in the Western Abenaki population who are very definitely still with us. So your generous gifts will make a difference. This morning's offering will now be most gratefully received. One thing I forgot to say, if you want to contribute to the Radical Love event, you can also write a check, and if you do, it will be so helpful if you write Radical Love Exchange on your check. Thank you. So 3 cards, milestones, and passages have been put in the basket this morning. One is from Marnie Wood, who says, many of us can recall the milestone that finishing the lower level of our beautiful building became right below us. The Ann Ross Fellowship Hall is an amazing space used throughout the week. We now have new round tables that debuted last Sunday. Is that right? I haven't seen the new round tables, so I'll see them later. Today we have tablecloths that were ordered for them. Please enjoy and be careful with your food and drink. We will trust that they live up to being stain resistant as advertised, but you don't need to test them. I think that's what that means. And Marnie also says that the flower arrangement on the main front table was enhanced this week, for next week and next Sunday, by our flower co-op member Alice Berninghausen, building on Jess Daniel's arrangement. Well, isn't that wonderful? It's flowers on flowers. And Lynn Ballman writes this. Some of you heard, I guess last week, about little Parker, her great nephew. Do I have that right? So much gratitude for your blessings and prayers for little Parker. Finally, on Wednesday, he was removed from the ventilator and could be held lovingly by his parents for the first time. Yesterday, all IV parts, tubes, and oxygen was removed with homecoming today. Alas, Parker is back on oxygen, and we now hope for a meaningful Thanksgiving homecoming. Blessed be. She says, I'm counting down 21 days. That's you're counting down, okay, to holding him yourself. So let us hold those joys and the pain that is love in our hearts, and bring to mind any joys and sorrows and passages and milestones in your life. Let us take a moment of silence to hold that separately, and also know that we are holding one another. And let us sing. Let us sing together.
Hi, all. So we'll begin this conversation with how Sophia and I met. It was a good time. So we were teacher assistants in the summer of 2013.
It was a long time ago.
It felt a long time ago. We helped students perfect their pronunciation with the language Haitian Creole, as we're both Haitian Americans, and it was through the Racias Language Immersion Program at Dartmouth. Did I get that right?
I think you did.
Okay. And that was a good time. So we were two Haitian Americans just meeting each other for the first time, and she blew me away. She blew me away. And I believe that's the last time I saw you, actually.
It is.
In person. So this is a gift to me as well. So thank you. And so why did I invite her? Why did I ask her to come? Because even then, her story shaped my life. The story of perseverance, the story of pressing through, the story of resilience, the story of gratitude. And so I will let her speak for herself. But Sophia, let us know your roots, your background.
First and foremost, I just want to say good morning and thank you all for being here. This is a lot of people. I am grateful that you all were able to create time just to even listen to me and my story and my journey. So this means so much. So I just want to say good morning and thank you. It's just... as far as who am I, which is an amazing conversation to have as a 40-year-old woman. My journey began when I was 5. I am a Haitian-American abstract expressionist. I am first gen, which is extremely important to me. I am a sister, a big sister. I am an educator. I am an arts education advocate, and I believe in supporting our young people and discovering their voice through art. That is a part of my life's mission, and I hold that very dear to me. As far as my work, I literally started painting when I was 5 years old. Literally, I was mixing the blues and the greens, trying to figure out the colors of the skies, and just trying to understand who I am, just as a young person, and also understanding my identity. I know we had a conversation the night before, and understanding that because I am Haitian American, I tend to feel as if I am othered. Othered in the sense of, yes, I'm a very proud Black woman. I'm also Afro-Latina. I'm also very proud to be Haitian. But I've grown up in a space where I didn't really fit anywhere. I love rock, I love Whitesnake, and I love Guns N' Roses, and really, and I had to, no, seriously, hopefully, we can figure it out afterwards, but I've always felt different compared to my classmates, different compared to my siblings, and really trying to discover who my voice is and who am I. And one of the things that I remember my art teacher, Mrs. Whitney. I went to a predominantly Catholic high school, Immaculate Conception High School in Montclair, New Jersey. So I was raised in the church throughout my primary years and also into my college years. And I remember Miss Whitney seeing something in me. I remember someone just seeing me. Because, as someone, I tend to kind of blend in the background, not wanting to ruffle any feathers. And I remember she was having us create geometric squares. And I remember combining the oranges and the greens again and trying to figure out a shape, trying to figure out a texture, a color, just trying to figure it out compared to my other classmates who were following direction, which I never do. I just want to let you know. I never follow direction. And I'm sure my students will love to hear that. But Mrs. Whitney saw something in me, and I never forgot that. She said, you know what, I think you should go to art school. And I just remember going, no, my parents would be very angry with me. They prefer for me to be a doctor,
Yes.
a lawyer, you know, something conventional to make money so I'm not poor. And I remember her conversation with me, and I remember her saying, there's something special in you, Sophia. And no one has ever said that to me at that time. There's something about you that I think you should do it, and I have your back. And I never forgot Mrs. Whitney, and I always give thanks to Mrs. Whitney. And it goes back to the conversation of I always give gratitude to my community, because this is my community that brought me here. It is my community that brought me to my work as an artist, to work with young people because of a Mrs. Whitney in my life. So I could talk all day.
Yeah, no, I love it. And I'm so grateful for Mrs. Whitney for seeing you and planting that seed, helping you see it through, and then you do it for others, has been my experience. So I know through your journey it's been hard. You've had the experience of being homeless, holding on to your art, making that hard decision. Do I stay an artist? Do I starve, or do I find a job? Why did you hold on?
You know, so there was a point in my life where I had nothing. I lost everything. After I graduated college, I didn't really have the resources or means to pursue my graduate degree. I had to get a job, right? I had to figure out my life. And in pursuing me getting a job, I stopped creating altogether. I just stopped for a number of years. And I've always felt with my creative practice, it's as if I can't sleep. If I don't create, it's as if my creativity is haunting me in my dreams, if that makes any sense. Like there's something missing, like I have to write, I have to create, I have to connect. And if I can't do that, I can't sleep. I'm restless. I don't know what it is. There's something about that gift, that spiritual gift that's aligned with like my ancestors. There's something in me that I need to speak, I need to create, I need to share, I need to connect with others. And for me to survive, I had to ignore that, which in itself was detrimental. There was a point where in 2011, I never forgot this, with the stock market crash, a lot was happening in 2011. I lost my home because I couldn't afford it. I was temping, I was hopping from job to job, and I couldn't afford rent. And I was living alone. I didn't have roommates at the time. And I don't come from a family of wealth. My mother came to this country when I believe she was 19 years old, and she had to figure it out on her own. So our family, we don't come from wealth. We come from a people that had to not only figure it out, but work hard to get to where we are. And I was homeless for nearly 2.5 years. So when I met Esther, I had no home, and she didn't know that because I was prideful. And how I met Esther, I started to share my story with other people because folks are just like, where are you living? What's going on? And I had to push aside my pride and go, okay, well, I don't have a place to live. I lost my stuff. So all of the items that I had in my apartment were sold off. Everything was gone. I had to sell everything. And if it wasn't for my community of people that I was able to connect with in Brooklyn, New York, who were able to open up their homes to me, meaning a couch. If there's a twin-size inflatable mattress, I will sleep on it. If it wasn't for my community of creating a safe space for me to say, hey, I need help. I'm not okay. But I also want to create, and I don't know how to go about this because I couldn't afford materials. Where am I gonna get materials? And through my community, I was able to connect with another organization, Art Day Celebration. At the time, I think it was another round of earthquakes that were happening in Haiti. And I was invited to teach art in Haiti after the earthquake. And this was my first time visiting Haiti ever, like ever, as an artist. My first time connecting with my roots. My first time connecting with young children that look like me. My first time going to places where my mother came from. And this was my first time visiting Haiti ever. So I had the opportunity, through the support of this nonprofit organization that heard about my story, who were able to cover my travel and my lodging, who were able to cover my art materials, who were able just to support me and pour into me, so I'm able to support and pour into young Haitian children who look like me, who didn't really have a platform to rediscover their voice. So that really planted the seed to my journey and my purpose, and also into education, because I never wanted to be a teacher, by the way. I never wanted to be a teacher. I never. It was God. It literally fell into my lap. I just love to work with our young people. I love to support our young people. It's just a part of my life, and it's a part of my journey. I can talk all day.
I love it. And thank you for holding on. Thank you for choosing to persist. Thank you for trusting your community to put away. I know a little something about that Haitian pride, okay? I know how it can get in the way of asking for help. And the fact that you put it aside, you leaned into your community, and your community showed up.
Always.
Mm.
Like, even to this day, I give thanks to my community. Even to this day, it was my community who helped fund my materials, who attended my first exhibition after a number of years. It was my community who purchased my prints. It was my community who were able to find me a job, people who heard about my story. That's really how I became a teaching artist, and then eventually I became an art educator, and then eventually I became an art advocate because of my community. People just continuously pour into me. People continuously remind me that I have a purpose. And at times I tend to veer off the path because I want to survive. I live in a space of, I didn't have a supportive childhood. I didn't have a healthy childhood. I didn't have a safe childhood. So I grew up in a space of survival. I'm constantly surviving. How do I get to the next space? How do I eat? Where do I live? How do I grow? How do I create? Because I need to sleep. And if it wasn't for my community who continuously, even to this day, thanks to you and so many others, and all of you actually, for even being here, for pouring into me, I take on all of these energies to create so I can also pour into the young people that I meet and I work with every single day. So I am continuously grateful to be here, because there was a point in my life that I would not have been here. I didn't want to live, because how am I going to create? How am I going to live? What am I going to eat? But it was other people who saw something in me, and I give thanks every single day.
I'm just going to sit with that for a little bit. And at the time when we met, I had no, actually, I just learned today that you were homeless. I had no idea. And I remember the impression I had of you and your grit, your resilience to do what you love in a way that I never considered. I was just like, I need a job. I need to support my family. So to see a Haitian-American woman push through regardless, it gave me a sense of hope. And in advertising for today, I saw the community. You do this. Yeah. And to see your community and the way they pour into you, I love it. I also want to ask, what keeps you going? I hear your community does, them pouring into you, your students, them, you teaching, you advocating for those to also get those opportunities. What keeps you going? What fills your cup?
So that's a loaded question.
I'm sorry.
It's a loaded question because I taught before, during, and after the pandemic. And the pandemic itself was a game changer for me. Speaking of like mental health and filling my cup, I became accustomed to flowing and filling cups of other young people that I forgot about myself. And as an educator, even just as a human being, we want to, well, I'll speak for myself. I want to make sure those who meet me, who are around me, feel filled. They feel seen. There's a level of intention behind everyone that I meet. Yet at the same time, especially as an educator, I forgot about Sophia. What do I like to do? I like to create as well, you know? And the pandemic really completely changed my life. I lost a number of students. A number of students became displaced. There was an increase in violence as well within the schools due to a number of students having to stay home. Sometimes their homes were not safe, and I understood that. I had an experience like that as well as a child. And I took on everything with my students. I took on their worries. I took on their anger. I took on their frustration. And it took a toll on me. To the point where I had to decide to leave because mentally, physically, and spiritually, I was depleted. I was unable to create. And I was no good as an educator or even a human being to my students. And after that experience and just saying goodbye to my students who I love, I will see them during graduation. Where's the camera? I will see you during the graduation. I will be there at graduation in June and every other year. I had to rediscover my journey, rediscover my voice. I also realized as an artist, it's a nonlinear path. You really don't know where you're gonna go. Like I said earlier, I never knew I was gonna be an educator. I didn't think I liked kids, honestly. You know, they just kind of gravitate towards me, and I was just like, I want to protect you all. Come here. Now let's create some art. I had to figure out my voice because I lost it along the way while being an educator. I lost it along the way while trying to survive in this world, especially in light of the George Floyd, the Sandra Bland, seeing Black people being killed and murdered on social media in front of everyone. That changed me as well. Who am I? I am a human being. I deserve, oh wow. I'm a human being who deserve freedom, who deserve choices, who deserve to live freely and not think about my safety every single day. And that's something that became so apparent to me throughout the past couple of years of my safety and my voice and my students and my family and my journey. And trying to figure out what fills me, what fills my cup, I've discovered, aside from a really good cup of coffee, thank you for the cup of coffee, by the way. What fills me is actually my mother's prayers. My mother prays for me every single day. I don't want to get into it, but I give thanks to my mom. I was not expecting to cry. But I give, do we have tissues? Oh man, I was not expecting to cry, wow.
Thank you so much.
I was not expecting to cry. Oh, okay. Because you know, Haitians don't cry.
No, we don't.
We really don't.
But we're breaking that today.
I call these allergies. You know, new flowers, you know, allergies, allergies, allergies. But yeah, I give thanks to my mom. Her prayers, she prays for me every single day. And I feel it. And that fills my cup. So, that's it.
Yeah.
Allergies.
Allergies. So grateful
Oh, man.
for mothers who pray, because I know that. My mama too.
I hate when she looks at me.
I know.
Oh my God.
I know you named that you're 40, and you feeling like, oh gosh, but I just want to say, as a person who has witnessed the work that you've done, the light that you are, and knowing that there is so much more to come from you, it is only the beginning. And just like you empower your students, I hope to continue to empower you. We hope to continue to empower you, because your story matters, your journey matters, and there is more to be done that only you can do with your experience, with your story. You're able to reach folks I can only imagine to reach.
Thank you.
So as I think about your legacy, I'll end with your legacy. What legacy do you hope to leave?
When I think about humanity, especially during these times, these troubling times, I hope to leave people, I'm just going to speak with my spirit. Yes. I hope to leave people with a purpose, to see my work, to hear my story, and to let them know it doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter where you are in your journey. It's important to continue going. Because you never know the next person that looks at your journey. Oh man, that was allergies. You just never know who's watching you, dealing with these allergies. You just never know. Just a simple act of gratitude can truly change a person's life. Even being here, it's like, oh my God, you wanted to hear me? But I truly hope to use my words and my journey for folks to continue on. That's it.
Amen. Yes, can we celebrate Sophia today? Thank you so much.
I really was not expecting to cry. Allergies.
Thank you for being open and honest and giving us a piece of you, traveling all this way, and we hope to have you again.
Yeah, thank you. This just means so much to me. So I give thanks every single day for you all, your energy, your love, your prayers, that I'm able to use that to share with others along the way. So it means a lot, so thank you.
As we close, I will say thank you all for being here, for showing love to Sophia, for hearing her story, for your presence. And as we go forth, my hope is that you show gratitude through a smile, through a hug, because I'm a hugger. I've learned to ask first, though. And through your presence, and know that it makes a difference. It changes lives. It changed her life. Your kindness and warmth changed my life. Is part of the reason why I choose to be here, even though my family's like, what are you doing in Vermont? I was like, I found my community. That's why. So please enjoy coffee hour. Sophia and I will be down there. Her art will be showing. You can talk to her, ask her questions, and I hope you have an awesome week. Blessed be.